Okay. Cashew business. Yes, Exim Bank will support cashew business. We finance a number of people who have gone into cashew farming already. So please, if you are into cashew business, you could apply at Exim Bank and we could support you. We finance cashew. The second bit has to do with the ginger farm. So far, we've not supported any ginger farm yet, but I know a number of companies who are looking for ginger. Ekumfi fruit juice company is looking for ginger now. They buy ginger from the market. They're looking for reliable suppliers. So if you're able to link with a buyer who will be ready to buy from you, give you a letter of intent or a contract, and you come to Exim Bank, want to do ginger farm, I'm sure we'll support you. Or want to process ginger for sale, we should be able to support you. Somebody asked that, does one need certification to be, I'm just reading from the chat. Does one need certification to be an angel investor? No, you don't need a certification to be an angel investor. It's just anybody could be an angel investor. Anybody who wants to just be an angel to somebody can be an angel investor. You don't need certification. Let me check. And for the crowdfunding too, you don't need certification. You don't need it. Just that you need to let people have to read your business model, and they have to have credibility. It must be sound. Most of the times, people raise the crowdfunding when it's social entrepreneurship, like you are entering into a business that is solving an environmental problem, a social problem, a cultural problem. Those are the things that attract more crowdfunding. But you don't need really certification to do that. Oh, somebody said I should share the previous screen. I'm sorry I couldn't see that. Maybe you can contact me later. Okay. Somebody is asking whether they can have my contact for the greenhouse. Let me give you a contact for the greenhouse. If you want the greenhouse, let me give you somebody's number that you can call in Exim Bank, 0244 375 515. 0244 375 515. So tell the person that she's called Gertrude. Tell her that I gave your number and I said you can call to make inquiries on the greenhouse project. Currently, we've taken applications, but we will be doing 200 more. So the 100 is fully gone. The 100 is also almost fully applied for. But just apply. Tell her that I want to apply for the ones that we are yet to secure. And then we'll jot your details down, give you a form to fill, jot your details down, and then you can get one. Someone asked whether he can get the recorded version. I'm sure when you see the organizers, they should be able to help you there. Somebody said he's in WA. How does he access our bank? We have a branch in Tamale. If you go online, go to our website, you can call our Tamale branch. WA falls under our Tamale branch, and we finance businesses across the nation. So the fact that you're in WA doesn't mean that you can access a facility from us. But our Tamale branch oversees all operations in WA. So you could go online and then call our Tamale branch, and they should be able to assist you. So does the bank give support for nutrition startups? Yes. For Exim Bank, because we're a development bank owned by the government of Ghana, we support startups. But I think the minimum loans we give is around 500,000. The minimum loan, apart from the projects that I mentioned earlier on, the greenhouses and things, for normal business loans, the minimum we do is 500,000. Are there any special requirement to access the bee and the greenhouse? No, really, no special requirements. Somebody said it's into pepper and maize production. the north. Yes, if you contact our Tamale branch, they should be able to assist you on that. Interest-free loans or funding available? I'm sorry, no. He said, somebody said, still with angel investor, how can one enforce the agreement in case of default? It can be enforced in the law court. You can get a lawyer to help you draft the agreement in such a way that you can enforce it at the law court. It's enforceable at the law court. Mushroom production, yes, we support mushroom production. I know somebody that have received financing from Exim Bank to do mushrooms. Somebody said, what is the process for securing funding for an ongoing cashew and mango farming startup? Oh, please call Exim Bank for the procedure. If I should go through the procedure, or what I would say, that just get a business plan, include an application letter. The application letter should be addressed to the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Exim Bank, and then you can submit it and we'll help you. But it's not only Exim Bank that you can get loans. There are several banks out there, several financial institutions out there. There are several organizations that give loans that should be able to also assist you. Thank you. Somebody said, I'm the owner and CEO of Dopio. Hey, this is difficult to me, at East Legon, which I personally funded and has been in operation for 18 years. My problem with loans in Ghana is that the interest rate is too high, usually double digit. Exim Bank, our interest rate, we are a development bank. Our interest rate is between 10 and 13.5%. Between 10 and 13.5%. We are slightly lower. Thank you very much.
Okay,
somebody said,
thank you.
Last one. Somebody said, I have a business idea using waste to produce roofing tiles, and all attempt to get funding from Exim has been futile. Can you assist? Why not? You can contact me from here, and then I should be able to help you. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator.
Okay, thank you very much. But before you go, I want you to briefly advise us on where to invest for enough equity to start our businesses. Yeah.
Where to invest to generate? Well, this day and age, after the collapse of the financial sector, or collapse of the microfinance and savings and loan sector, let me put it that way, opportunities are limited. But I will advise that please buy treasury bills. It's 13%, it's 12.75% as of yesterday, but it's fine. Buy treasury bills. It's safer because you have a purpose for these funds. You don't want to overly risk it. So please just buy treasury bills and you should be fine. You can buy a treasury bill 1,000 cedis, 2,000 cedis. So please buy treasury bills and accumulate it. Or there are other investments. Fidelity has an investment called Flip account. Flip account. Now you could invest in Flip. That one you can. It's easier than trade. The interest rate on it is treasury bill rate. Now you can deposit money in it at any time. So it can be a savings account for you. Meanwhile, you are enjoying treasury bill rates instead of a normal savings account rate. I have investment in that, in Flip account. It's called Flip, F-L-I-P, Flip account at Fidelity. You can be depositing money anytime. You get any day. In fact, you can deposit money in it 5 times a day, 10 times a day. But you enjoy treasury bill rates.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bright. That was very, very informative. And I think from here, most of us have been refreshed to go into entrepreneurial services. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for your questions as well. We'll quickly move into the second session and then and have his also presentation or his submissions. And so thank you very much once again, Mr. Bright Darko. We are really grateful to have you. Please, if you still have questions for Mr. Bright Darko, you can put it in the chat box. We will forward everything to him and then you will get your answers. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm sorry, before I go, I'm actually on the trip, so I would have to go off to attend to other things. Thank you very much, everybody, for your time. Some are asking for my contact. I'll give you my contact, but the caveat is that please, it's better you call me later in the day, from 4:30 to like 6 is better for me, 4:30 p.m. Otherwise, during the day, it can be a bit busy. But if you have pen and paper, I can give you my contact, 0244 683 123. 0244 683 123. I have only one number I use. This is the only number I use, so it gets very busy, but I'm ready to attend to you. But if you could call, I can see somebody have called it right now to be sure whether that's the number. But that's it. So please, and that's it. Call me probably later in the day, and it will be quite. If it's Saturday, the whole day is fine. Thank you very much. And Sunday is out, please. It's family time. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the session.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and so we are quickly going to have our second speaker. Our second speaker. Now, our second speaker is Mr. Jerry Ajin Tete. Mr. Jerry Ajin Tete. He is an investment analyst with over 10 years experience in the industry. He works at Data Bank, and he comes in with a lot of experience that will also enrich our program or our understanding of investment and entrepreneurship summit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored to introduce to you Mr. Jerry Ajin Tete to present to us some needed and required information that will take us far. Thank you very much. Mr. Ajin Tete, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Sena. Sena, can you hear my voice?
Yes, please. Perfectly. Yes, please. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Is it loud and clear?
Loud.
Is it loud and clear?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk to me on this program. And thank you also, Bright, for what you've shared. We've learned a lot from it. I'm here to talk to you. I believe this time is the time we are going to learn a lot and even to build on what Bright has taught us. Basically, it has to do with how we can be financially free, because there can be no true independence without financial independence. Before we proceed, I proceed with the presentation. I want to thank you, the organizers, and all those who have connected to the program as well, because studies show that it's only about 10% of people that would even connect to a program like this, even when the program is of a benefit to them. So for you to connect to a program like this, even when it's being organized for free, it tells me that you really want to upgrade yourself. I'll put my video off for a moment as I begin to share with you. Okay with you, Sena?
Very, very fine. Very fine.
Okay,
fine
good.
Here. Thank you.
Okay, very good. And so today we'll be looking at keys to financial freedom. And I have a very good news for you. It's going to make some progress financially. And that is with a caveat, provided you are going to put whatever we are going to learn into practice. And so whatever state you are financially, I believe you still can make progress. I believe you still can do something. And just get to know that all that we are coming to talk about is not anything so difficult. It's not rocket science. And I want to start with a quote by Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey runs syndicated shows on finance in the US. He's a personal finance guru. And he said personal finance is 100% behavioral and only 20% head knowledge. So all that we are coming to talk about is not anything that is beyond your comprehension. It's something that you can easily understand. And you people, majority of you being graduates, I know you can take a lot of good information in a very short space of time. I only have about 30 minutes to do this presentation. And the good thing is that since you can take a lot of good information or good stuff in a very short period of time, I'm going to run through this quickly and hopefully you should get a lot. This is the things I'm coming to share with you are things that usually can take days and weeks to fully explain it. But I believe within these 30 minutes, we can just, we can have a crash course that can set us on a very sound financial footing. So to start with, I just want to talk about the 7 stages to financial independence. I don't know where you are now, but the truth is that we all start being dependent on our parents. It may be some relative who is taking care of us. Then we move to a point where we are surviving. We are solvent in a way where we are earning something, but then our expenses are much more than what we are bringing in. Then we get to a point where we are almost balancing, but we are not there yet. You may even be staying with some relatives or some people, and they may be helping you with your rent, and you may even be still working. Then from there, so that gets you to a point where you are emergency fund and I'll explain what emergency fund later on as we proceed. You've gotten to a point where you have some emergency funding, and so in case you lose your job, you will be able to cope for a while, and then you get to a point where you'll be able to, what you have coming in is more than what you are spending, what we term as financial independence. Then you get to the freedom side where you are able to afford some luxuries, and ultimately you get to the abundance where you are able to do what you want to do and without even thinking about any debt. So these are the things basically we want to say. So no matter where you are now, the good news I have for you is that you can make progress. That's the good news I have for you. It doesn't matter where you are now, you can make progress financially. Financial freedom then is possible. Put it that way, it's possible. And if you are by yourself, just tell yourself that it's possible for me to achieve financial freedom. I've put a picture of Roger Bannister. And I think I seek to communicate something. In the year 1954, or before the year 1954, there has never been a man that has run a mile race under 4 minutes. All what the medical experts and the pundits were saying that it's not possible for the human heart to endure such an ordeal. And in the year 1954, this British gentleman broke that record. In fact, he died 2 years ago. 2018, he died 3 years ago. He broke that record. He broke the record, ran for, under 4 minutes for a mile race. And the good thing I can tell you now is that after he broke that record, today we have over 1,300 people who have broken his record. But before the year 1954, it seems like an impossible task. And so it may be financially. You may see yourself, oh, where I am, can I live without loans? Can I live without debt? Can I be able to afford? Can I make any progress? The good news I have for you today is that it is possible for you to achieve this financial freedom. If others have done it, you can do it. If others have been able to accomplish it, you can also be able to accomplish it. And moving from there, I just want to, I know Bright has talked about entrepreneurship, but I said that the average millionaire has about 7 streams of income. There may be more, there may be less, but has 7 streams of income. We can talk about earned income, where basically all of us start with. You have a job, but the sad thing with the flip side of having a job is that you can't do much with your job, because remember, the acronym for job is just overbrook. You can't do much with your job. You need to move and graduate from just having a job. You can move to profit income, rental income, royalty. But today I will focus on how you can earn capital gains. You can make some dividends or earn some dividends and get some interest income. And that's what basically in the next maybe 20 minutes, what I'm going to talk about will focus on. But have in mind that if you only focus on your job, you can't do much with your job. You need to move forward and move to some other streams of income. And to do that, I need to first just draw a distinction between what is savings and what is investment, or what is saving and investing. When you go to, we could come out and change so many definitions, but the simple distinction I can give you is this. If you go to a bank and you say you want to save your money, or you want to open a savings account, all that you are asking the bank for is that the bank should keep the money safely for you, and when you need it, you will come for it. However, when you say the money should be used for investing, or it should be put into some form of investment, you are saying that the bank should use it for something that has the potential or the propensity or the ability to generate some returns. And the returns here can either be positive or negative, depending on which one you choose to invest in. And that's very important for you to understand that. So we lay this foundation going on so you know what exactly would be the best for you to invest in. Having said that, I just want to, there are various types of investment. Even buying a land can be an investment. Putting your money in a business is also an investment. But I just want to focus on the financial instrument, and there could also be more, because you could actually invest in derivatives also. But in Ghana here, typically we have what we call fixed income. I know Bright was talking about treasury bill. That is one aspect of investment, and that's even some aspect of fixed income. We also have bonds. We have mutual funds also under fixed income. I'll explain briefly. Then we come to equities. Then we have shares, like you buying shares in Ghana Commercial Bank or MTN or Benzo Oil Palm Plantation. And then we could have a combination of fixed income and equities. So we call it hybrid or balance fund. So for fixed income, usually things like treasury bill, bonds, and fixed income fund. One typical one is M fund that we have with DataBank. Because they come with somehow a determinate rate of return, the returns are not usually so high because you are not taking too much risks. And then when you come to equities, equities are such that they can swing. They can go very high, they can go very low. So then there is the possibility that you can make so much. There is a possibility also that it can go so low, which can actually affect your principal or your capital, if you want to put it that way. Then we have the hybrid, which seeks to balance the two. So you are getting some returns from fixed income, and you are also getting some returns from equity. And as I said, the equities are saying that the returns can either be positive or negative. But for fixed income, generally, we expect that you should always earn interest on fixed income instruments. Having said that, generally, when you want to invest, what are the questions you need to ask yourself? I know somebody, you asked a question, saying, and Bright was trying to give an answer. But the point is this, you need to not just in a portion. So there are questions you need to ask before choosing any form of investment. Whether you want to invest in treasury bills or shares or mutual funds, whether it's a fixed income mutual fund or an equity mutual fund, there are questions you need to ask. A typical question is, and I've put here 12 questions that you need to ask yourself. One is what is my investment objectives? What is my investment objective? Why do I want to invest? Is it maybe you want to buy a car, you want to invest so that you use it in case maybe something happened as an emergency fund? You need to have that in mind. What is your time horizon? Do you want to invest for maybe 3 years or 5 years or 10 years or for your retirement? Or you need the money in 3 months' time? That will also determine where you place that money, you put that money. What is your risk tolerance? You need to also think about that. Because virtually every investment comes with some level of risk. Even the ones we say, inherently, there are some level of risk of that investment. Like maybe you invest in treasury bill and interest rates, forex rates are rising, or the cedi is depreciating much faster than what treasury bill is. There is risk there. However, even though we know governments generally do not fail to honor their debt obligation, there have been countries that have failed to honor their debt obligations. So we should also bear that in mind. It's not that it's, so basically there is no risk-free investment. However, what kind of risks are you prepared to take? That's the question. And generally, we consider the fixed income instruments as things like bonds, treasury bills, fixed income funds, things like what we call debt instruments, things like certificates of deposits, things like commercial papers. They are basically very, very low. Understand what investment best suits your risk profile. That means very low risk. Is it, Senna, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. It was breaking a little, but it's fine. Hello, Mr. Jerry, Eugene, are you with us? Hello.
Yes, Senna, I'm with you. Can you see my screen?
Okay. No,
Okay.
we can't see your screen.
Sorry, I think. But can you hear me anyway?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly, and we can see your screen now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Is it better?
Yes, please. Yes, it's better.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Senna. So on the screen now, I've put 3 things there. for instance, if you are somebody, I'm talking about matching your risk tolerance with your investment. If, for instance, you are somebody who has a very low tolerance, then you can, for instance, invest in something like M-Fund, Edifund Tier 1, Treasury bills, and bonds. Tolerate a little bit of risk, then you can add ACFund, BFund, and Edifund Tier 2. If you have a very high risk tolerance to it, Edifund Tier 2 also to it, which if there is time, I'll explain. But coming back, the fifth question I want you to ask yourself is, before taking any investment decision, is how has the investment performed in the past? You also need to understand whether there are warning signs. What is the track record of the company that is you are investing your funds with? Where are your funds being placed? Who regulates your investment? Because for investments in this country, apart from Treasury bill that BOG regulates, every other thing goes through the Securities and Exchange Commission. So you need to also be aware of that. And then the question is, the company compliant with the regulator? What is the governance around the investment making? So he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and thinks that this should be the decision that should be taken. Who is on the board? These are questions that you need to ask yourself before taking any investment decision, and not just throwing your money anywhere. So it means that you have to ask tough questions, so you know where and and how long you are investing. Having said that, I just want to quickly share with you some 7 I believe will help you when it comes to, journey to financial freedom. The first one I want to share with you is that you must have a financial goal or plan, and you must get on a budget. You must know where you are, what you want to achieve, and when you want to achieve. Important. When you don't aim for anything, you wouldn't even know. If you don't aim for anything, you will get nowhere. So you should have a goal. Maybe even if you are in school now, if you are receiving allowance or some funding, whatever it is, what is your goal? That by the end of the year, I should be able to save 1,000 Ghana cedis or 2,000 Ghana cedis. This is my plan. And every month on month, you should be able to produce how you have directed that money. Have a spending plan. Simply a budget. Know where the money went. It shouldn't be that a lot comes into your hands and you even don't know where the money is going. So you should know that. That's the very first thing I want to share with you. And it's ideal, just let me add it to it, let me pass it on. It's ideal you even write it, because by writing it, it registers on your subconscious mind, and your mind even goes to work on it, even when you may even be sleeping. So it's very important you have that financial goal and plan. The second thing I want to share with you is that you need to delay gratification. What do I mean now? For some of you who are still students, there is a tendency that just coming out of school, you want to have a car, you want to have a house, you want to have get the latest iPhone, whatever it is. Some even, I'm told some is cost about 8,000, 10,000, whatever it may be. But the truth of the matter is that, and what has been the cycle is that people come out of school because they desire for all these things, and immediately their incomes or salaries are not able to fund these things. They go in for loans to supplement what they are earning. And so they get into a rat race, and then they end up all of their life paying loans, paying loan, one loan after the other, one loan after. So it has become like a cycle that people can't live without loans. But the truth of the matter is that if you are able to delay satisfaction, satisfying these perceived needs, you'll be able, and then you take the right course, you'll be able to later on have more. So on your screen now, if you have it now, yes, it may be just one or two that may come up. But if you're able to do it later, you would have more. And do you want to enjoy now and suffer later? Or you want to suffer now and enjoy later? I could talk about this for a long, and this all has to do, what I seek to communicate here is two things basically. That you should, one, examine your attitude towards spending and avoid unnecessary debt. Examine your attitude towards spending and avoid unnecessary debt. Unfortunately, for especially government workers, debt has become like something that they crave for because of the ease with which they acquire loans. So every now and then they are accumulating loans upon loans. And the thing is that if you don't break that habit, you can't have this financial freedom. So now I see James writing on my screen. So I don't know the settings that you have put on your Zoom. So if you can do that, just to restrict, because I'm seeing James K writing on my screen anyway. Can I proceed, or you want to solve that problem? Can I proceed, or I should?
I think you can proceed.
Okay, because there is
Please proceed. I'm working on it.
I'll say maybe if you can stop sharing, sir, if you can stop sharing and share again, the marking will go away. If you stop sharing and then reshare again.
No, it has to do with the setting, because you have given him, that person, some right to do. Anyway, I can start again. That's fine, but I'm getting some feedback also from. Can I proceed, Senna?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Proceed.
Okay. So I was talking about delayed gratification and the need, the fact that you need to examine your attitude towards spending and avoid unnecessary debt. The third thing I want to talk about is be entrepreneurial. I know Bright has talked about it, but the thing I want you to think about is this. When it comes to investing, basically there are two things. You either expand your income source or you cut down on your expenses. And to expand your income source, you need to think as to how to increase that income source. And so look for problems and offer solutions. Think about needs around you, think solution. In fact, wherever you are listening to me right now from, whatever you are using, whatever you are wearing, whatever you are Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, we are with you. We are with you.
We are with you, sir.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that wherever you are listening to me right now from, and whatever you are using, whatever you are wearing, it is somebody's idea. And the question I want to ask you is that, where is your idea? Think about it. And that's the whole thing about entrepreneurship, because entrepreneur is a French word, which means to undertake. So think about it. And the good thing is that we are all creative. We can do something. I have not come across any dumb person who can do anything. You may not be good at one thing, but you are good at another thing. So think solution. Because if you focus on your job alone, then, like I told you, job is the acronym for just over broke. And you can't think about it. Look at any successful person in this world. Majority of them are entrepreneurs. So think about it and then put that into practice. The fourth thing I want to talk about is pay yourself first. This is a principle. If you are not getting anything at all from this presentation I am giving you today, at least buy into this principle. Pay yourself first. For majority of us, we get our salaries, we pay bills. The EMIs over there is equated monthly installments. And if you have a car loan, it's one of these EMIs. If you have a loan anywhere, it's part of it. I mean, loans that you are paying on monthly installment is part of it. And we only invest what is left. And majority of the time, there is nothing left to invest because the salary itself, by the time it will arrive, the spirit or the soul of the salary is gone. It's only the body that we are waiting for. So we don't have anything to invest. But if you want to take this journey to financial freedom, you do the reverse. When you receive your salary, invest or save first before you pay your bills, and you spend what is left. I want to make it simpler for you. In this way, you apply the 70-30 rule. And this rule says that whatever you earn, divide it into 3/10 and 70. So, for instance, if you earn 1,000 Ghana cedis, or you are getting an allowance of 1,000 Ghana cedis, or you are doing some job or some part-time thing, and you are getting 1,000 Ghana cedis, divide it into 3/10 and 70. So 100, 100, 100, and then 700 Ghana cedis. The first 100, as religious as we are, God-fearing as we are, we want to give it to God. The second 10%, put it down in case of emergency. You fall on it. The third 10%, it could be your business idea you want to fund in future, or your retirement, or your something project you want to embark on, and spend the 70%. And it's proving that if you are able to practice this principle for a period of 20 to 25 years, you should be able to retire from active work without being a liability to anyone. So in future, you'll not be picking quarrels with your in-laws that you married my daughter or you married my son, and you, this woman, you have done something to my son and my son is not looking after me, and that kind of thing. You won't have that trouble, no matter how much you earn, if you are able to practice this principle religiously. And it's very important you buy into this principle, because many times people run into emergencies, they call people, they go and narrate all their stories, what is on their heart to these people. And then the people will look at them and say, look, just this morning, somebody came and I gave out that money to the person. At that time, you have narrated all your secrets and you have naked yourself before that person, only for the person to disappoint you. So it's important you do that. Again, it's very important because, for instance, we are just coming out of COVID. And some people thought their jobs were secured, but it affected them in a way. And the truth of the matter is that, think about it. Life, if your job was affected, you are not able to get your income because of COVID last year. Think about, the pressures you would have gone through. If you had something set aside that in case of emergency, you'll rely on, you'll be much better. So that's why you need to buy into this principle. The fifth thing I want to talk about is utilize the power of compounding. Utilize the price. If $1 was to be invested at the rate of 3%, it will be worth all the money in the world today. Think about it. In fact, it's even, the power of compounding interest is even regarded as one of the wonders in the world. And so think about it. On your next screen now, I'm just showing something to you. if, for instance, some of you in school now, some of you, you are around 20 years or maybe 23 or 25, whatever it is, but assuming you are 20 years and you decide, I did a simple calculation. So you are 20 years, you decide to put away 45 Ghana cedis every month and you are earning a rate of 15% on it. By the age of 60, which is in 40 years time, you should have 1 million Ghana cedis. You should be a millionaire, so to speak. If you are 30 years now on this call and you decide to put away 180 Ghana cedis every month, and you are earning 15% on it every month, every year, you should be a millionaire by the age of 60 in 30 years time. And it's doable, it's achievable, it's possible. But the question is that most people lack the discipline to do that. And this 15% I'm talking about, it's not something that is beyond the ordinary. Beyond the ordinary. It's not something beyond the ordinary. You can be able to, I mean, even if you take treasury bill, a year treasury bill, like Bright was suggesting, is above 16%. So even if you are, so 15% is normal. If you take a typical fixed income fund like M Fund, over the years since we introduced it with data bank, the lowest M Fund has done is 12%, the highest has been 28%. So again, if you even invest it in M Fund, again, it's doable. You are able to achieve that. Somebody is asking whether why should you pay yourself? You should pay yourself because you deserve it. You should pay yourself because you deserve it. Why would you pay bills first and not thinking about paying yourself? In fact, that principle comes from a book by George Clarkson, who wrote The Richest Man in Babylon. And it's proven that if you are able to practice that, you should be on your way to financial freedom. I move on because of my time. It's the sixth one I want to talk about is foster high quality relationship. Somebody will ask, what has it got to do with finance or money? As I told you, anything personal finance is 80% behavioral. It's only 20% head knowledge. So there is no any rocket science about personal. So always hang around with the right people. In the Bible, it says that he that walketh with the wise will be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. And it said that 5 years from now, you'll be the same, except the books you read and the company you keep. So it's the people who you keep, where you are now, think about it, it's the company that you have kept and the things you have surrounded yourself with, the books you have read. And so if you foster a high quality relationship, there are people that will challenge your mind. There's something, let me put it this way, they will give you the gift of disorientation in the sense that they will challenge you, they will motivate you to aspire and to achieve and to move higher. But there are some people also, their policy is let's eat and drink, for tomorrow we will die. So whatever you have, let's consume it. Nothing for the future. They don't. So that's why in your state now, you must foster high quality relationship. Get around the right people. There are some people when you get around them, it's all about eating and drinking. But there are some people when you get around them, they are challenging you. The next new idea, the next thing you need to do. And together you'll be able to make progress. The last one I want to talk about is take action now. Sometimes we hear some of this stuff, and like, for instance, what I've shared to you is nothing new because, like Solomon said in the good book, there is nothing new under the sun. There is really nothing new under the sun. Malcolm Muggeridge, one of the finest British journalists, said there is no new news. What we call news is old things happening to new people. And let me even quote from Galileo. Galileo said that you cannot teach a person something he does not know. You can only bring what he does know to his awareness. So all I've shared with you, basically, there is nothing new. I'm just bringing some things to your awareness. So all that you need to do is to take action, not tomorrow, Many times you will hear something like this and say, okay, don't worry. When I come out of school, I'll start doing something. Oh, when I give birth, I'll start doing something. When I finish paying my debt, I don't have any student loan or I don't have any debt. I have taken business loan. So when I finish it, and so we live on an island called someday. Someday I'll do this. Someday I'll do this. This morning or you almost get into afternoon. You need to vote yourself off that island and take a decision that I'm going to do something now. I always tell people when I'm doing presentations that, if it is for information alone, then all the people that work in our public libraries, they'll be very rich. All the librarians in our public universities, they'll be very rich. They'll be millionaires because they are surrounded by books. So for knowledge is not a problem for them. But it's the action, the discipline, the self-discipline, forcing yourself to do what you need to do, whether you feel like it or not. So take decision, not tomorrow, not next year, not next week, not later, not someday. Do that now. The best time to start is now if you have not already started. That's the best time to do. And remember, I want to share these statistics with you. Remember, out of every 100, this was something done in the year 2000. Out of every 100 Ghanaians who reach the age of 60, there's too much feedback. Out of every 100 Ghanaians who reach 2 and retire comfortably. %23 must continue working. After the age of charity or relatives. The question I want to ask you, which of these do belong? You want to depend on charity and relatives. Majority. You are not, sorry, why so much feedback? You are not going to get more than 60% today. You are not able to survive on the 100%. How can you survive in Hello, Senna.
Hello, Mr. Edry. The network keeps, but I can hear you. Network.
Hello, Senna.
Hello. Network quite crazy.
The network.
Is it better?
Yeah, the network is not good.
The network.
Is it better?
Mr. Yes, it's better.
Yeah, something better now.
Initially, it wasn't good. But it's better.
I've switched to another network.
Okay.
My area, I don't know. The network is not too good today. But can you hear me now?
Yes, please, sir.
Okay, so what was the last thing I said? So I'll go back if I have.
You're talking about every 100 people who reach 60.
Okay,
That's
great.
where I reach.
Great.
Okay.
So as I said, on your screen now, that this is actually a 2005 review on pensions, actually on review on pensions reforms. And it's only from these statistics, there's only 2 people who retire comfortably currently in the country, and 23% must continue working. 75% must depend on SNIT or relatives. And what I'm saying is this, that if you don't do something to help yourself now, chances are that you may end up in the 75% who have to depend on SNIT and relatives, or the 23% who would, after the age of 60, who have to look for some security job to be doing, still be competing with young and able blood youths who are coming out of school. And the thing is that each and every one of us can do something to turn things around for ourselves. That's why you must do something. And I was even saying that when you think about SNIT pensions is not something you can solely depend on. This is the average SNIT pension payment in May 2000, as of May 2018, 723 Ghana cedis. Think about it. If you don't have your own house, you are going to rent, would you be able to survive on 723 Ghana cedis? That's the thing you need to think about. That's why you need to, when it comes to this thing, it's very, very important. And that's why, as young as some of us are, we need to take decisions now and do something, not later. Think about it. For instance, again, I'm just trying to bring your mind back. I'll end very soon. I'm trying to bring your mind back to the fact that if at the age, for instance, if you're at the age of 20, I don't know your age now, you are contributing 45 Ghana cedis every month and you are earning 15% on that money. It means that for the next 40 years, your total contribution will be 21,645 Ghana cedis. And your interest on that contribution will be over 1 million Ghana cedis. So you should be able to enter into retirement having 1 million Ghana cedis at least. If, for instance, you are 30 now, 30 years now, and you are putting 180 Ghana cedis monthly, if you are working, then for the next 30 years, your total contribution will be 64,980. You would have earned interest of 952,000 plus. So you should be able to be a millionaire at retirement, which means that you'll be able to get out of this 23% that must continue working, or the 75% who have to depend on their relatives and their children, and they will be picking up quarrels with their in-laws and stuff like that. So it's good you start now. I just want to end now to say that this is a quote I've put here by W. Clemenson. W. Clemenson lost one of his parents at a very early age, I think about the age of 6 or so. He was selling newspapers on the streets of Chicago. He grew and became a very wealthy man. In fact, he lived over 100 years. Even people, and he made a huge fortune. People that were thinking that they want to survive him, inherit his property and his money, he outlived them. So they even died before he died. And he said that if you cannot save money, then the seeds of greatness are not in you. If you cannot save money, the seeds of greatness are. So this morning, I've come to just challenge you that no matter your age, no matter what you are doing, think about your future, think about investing, think about saving, think about putting something down so our future doesn't look bleak. On this note, I want to say thank you for your time, your attention, and sorry for the bad network I had today. So I'm available. If you have any question, you can ask. So Sena, I'll hand over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Eugene Tete. That was truly challenging. You have really motivated us and you have prepared our minds. In fact, investment has been well understood henceforth. And we'll have some questions for you, Mr. Jerry, one Marcus, we want to know how best should he live a good financial life if he doesn't join SNIT? If he doesn't join SNIT?
Well, it depends on what I would say. It depends on your financial goal. For instance, maybe for Marcus, 100,000 Ghana cedis will be cool for him during retirement, or maybe 2 million Ghana cedis. So all depends on your financial goal. And then if you know that this is what I want to have in the foreseeable future when it comes to retirement, then you can we even have an investment calculator. It's on my firm's website, Databank website, where you can interplay with it. Okay, if I'm investing this amount every month and I'm earning maybe 10% or 15%, how much would I earn on retirement? Or if I want 1 million Ghana cedis or I want 200,000, how much would I need to invest every month? You can just juggle with those figures and then you come up with something that you can put aside. But the truth of the matter is, no matter how much it is, you need to do something. You need to do something. I don't know if I've helped him.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ejintete. The other one also one Kenneth Kweku Adigli. We also want you to educate us on the M Fund and the minimum contribution. The M Fund and
M Fund is an investment that you can even start with as low as 5 Ghana cedis. And if 5 Ghana cedis, you can pay into it every week, every month, every day. As and when you get money, you can do that. There is no hard and fast rule about it. It's not an insurance where, for instance, if you don't meet a particular premium amount, you will not qualify for a certain benefit. It's investment. If you are earning 10% on 5 Ghana cedis and somebody is earning 10% on 500 Ghana cedis, the person will make more than you. So all depends on what you can afford. There is no quota. So as low as even 5 Ghana cedis, if you want to do it, you can. And it's not anything.
Okay, thank you very much. But the last thing that I will also want to know, I think the question of that nature has been asked, but the issue of the issue of paying ourselves first, can you please throw more light on that once more? Because as at that time, the network was not really straight.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So basically, what do we do on a normal basis? A normal or average individual would want to receive salary, and because we want to live normal life. By the way, if you want to make it financially, some way somehow you can't live a normal lifestyle. There has to be a paradigm shift. You can't live like any other person, because ordinarily people want to get a job, they borrow to buy a car, they borrow to build a house, they borrow to send their children to school, and that kind of thing. It can't if you continue that way, you have a very bleak financial future. The thing is this, that pay yourself first is based on the principle that you have worked so hard and you need to compensate yourself. So you take, and when I went to the second slide, all I'm saying is take 20%. I don't want to come out or to say that it should be 20, but depending on what you earn, take some portion. I would recommend at least 20% of what you earn every month and put it aside for yourself. And that's what I call that you should put 10% for your emergency, 10% for future purpose. Is essentially something that you are setting aside. Come what may, you don't want to touch that money. And then the remaining money is what you use to pay your bills. So if you end up spending the remaining money and you can't get anything further, then that's where your entrepreneurship spirit must kick in and find some legitimate ways to make money to pay for those bills. At least when there is those pressure on you, it will even force you to think, because we always say that necessity is the mother of invention. Is that not so?
Yes, very true.
Force you to think and find ways to complement or supplement your income. So it's all based on the principle that save before spending. Save before spending instead of spending before saving. And the chances are that if you are going to spend, economics, we are told that our needs are insatiable. We by the time you put down, because who doesn't want the latest iPhone? Who doesn't want a very good car? Who doesn't want, to live comfortably? Virtually every one of us want to do that. But if you go on that trajectory, you are heading towards disaster. So when you put that money aside and you have little left, the little will force you to use it for things that are important. And then you weed out the non-essential things. So you'll be able to do the things that are important. I don't know if I've helped in that regard.
Okay. Another Moses wants to know which is the most stable, profitable investment in data bank.
Well, it depends on your risk tolerance. For instance, I asked some 12 questions that when I began in the introductory part, I asked some 12 questions. What you need to know your risk tolerance. For instance, we have a product called EPAC, which is very rewarding, but the risks associated with it is also very high because 80% of it is invested in shares or stocks. So if you are going to put your money into it, because now, as we are talking now, EPAC is doing very well. But if you are going to put your money into it, know that it comes with some high level of risks. So if you are prepared to take the risks, fair enough. Other than that, if you are risk averse, then something you can do treasury bill or you can do M fund, because those are relatively very low risks. M fund over the past 17 years, if you put it side by side with treasury bill, it's just about 3 years that treasury bill did better than M fund, but they are relatively very low risks. So if you don't want to take risks, you can do the M fund. However, if you want to take some level of risk, then you can go into EPAC or you want to buy shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Like MTN shares, COVID time last year went so low. Now it's flying. And if you had invested in MTN, you'll be laughing all the way. So it all depends on your risk tolerance and how long you want to invest.
Okay, Moses again has a follow-up question here. He's saying that if I have 10,000 Ghana cedis to invest for 5 years, which he's saying for 5 years, which option will you advise?
Well, it goes back to answer the question. It depends on how long the person wants to invest, the risk tolerance of the person, the objective. Those questions basically I was talking about. The person should consider those things and know which one, because I cannot sit here and say, do this one, do that one, because it's not like, you enter into Trotro and you are selling medicine. You say, this medicine cures all illness or all diseases. So that's not the kind of thing. Professionally, we don't do that. So just look at your individual situation and know what you can be able to do.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Jerry Ejin Tete. You have been very informative. In fact, you've provided us with a lot of information that we will need to align with investments. And we are very grateful to have you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, Abdul.
Yeah, so I posted a question, but that has not been addressed. So I'm just drawing his attention to it.
Okay, what was your question?
So my question basically is, reading through the slides, you understand that almost all the investment packages, they have this bit of interest driving it. And I'm asking, do you, like data bank, do we have any niche categories for, some category of people despite interest? Like, do we have a niche investment packages for this kind of people?
Okay, when you are talking about niche, what category of people are you talking about? People with ethical values or religious values or What kind of niche customers are you looking at, or clients?
Exactly. Who don't want their packages to be affected by the interest this in the market? Like they don't want interest, but you want to invest.
Okay, like you are talking about Islamic banking.
Islamic banking.
Is that what you have in mind?
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, in Ghana here, and what we do at DataBank, virtually all our investment comes with some returns. So if you don't want interest on your money, then it will be you have to put it in your savings account. You get the point, Abdul?
Yes, I'm following.
Yeah. I think somebody's hand is up. I don't know if.
Hello, sir.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yes, please. I posted a question about the M fund, but my network went off, so I didn't hear you well answering that.
What exactly you want to know about M fund? What exactly you want to know?
I posted that I wanted to know like the minimum contribution, the maximum contribution, and how the fund actually works.
Okay, M fund minimum as low as 5 Ghana cedis you can start with. For maximum, if you bring out 3 trillion, we will take it. We will happily take it. We need the money to invest. So there is no maximum actually, but minimum as low as 5 Ghana cedis you can invest in. And basically the way it works is this: it operates like, even though it's an investment, it operates like a savings account. Anytime you want to take the money, it takes a day for you to have the money. However, when you pay money into it, you should allow the money to stay in it for at least 3 months before you do withdrawal. With regards to interest rates, over the years, the lowest it has recorded in a year is 12%, and the highest it has recorded is 28%. It's a fixed income fund. What I mean by fixed income is that the money is invested in things that are relatively, or comes with some determinate rates of returns. In other words, things like bonds, corporate bonds, government bonds, treasury bills, debt instrument like what we call certificates of deposit or commercial papers. So really the risk is very, very low. I don't know if I've helped you with that.
Yeah, yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, thank you very much, Abdul. Thank you, Mr. Jean Tete Jerry. You have really been helpful today.
Hello. I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I have an M fund account with Data Bank, and I'm unable to come to the bank physically. I was hoping to use the mobile money payment option, but when I tried to do it, they said I have to, the number is not registered with something like that. So I don't know how you can help me to be able to do mobile payments without having to come to your office to register for that.
Okay, Ernestina.
Yes, please.
Okay. I've sent you my number, so you can just get in touch with me just after, or maybe on Monday, whatever it is.
Thank you.
Have you?
Okay.
Good day, Mr. J.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Please, Mr. J, I sent you a personal message. Kindly respond.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Agent. As a way of educating us, the question Ernestina asked, can you please, educate all of us on it? Because we are not going to take your number and all that, but then can you educate us so that we all know, like a quick summary of everything, so that we all learn from that question as well? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Marcus. Basically, to access your account, I think somebody has even replied. She's doing my justifier. Thank you. She has given us a code that we can access our account. But there are basically various ways to access your account. We have a short code, *6100#, *6100#, that you can use to check your balance, do payment using your Momo. And you can even use it to do withdrawal also from your account. We also have a mobile app that is on Android, is on iOS also, that you can download to access it. And so for the short codes, we have *737#. We also have *790#, that you can use. We have *6100# that you can use to access your account if you have account. Additionally, also you can go on our website, digital services. You'll be able to access your account. You can register to check your balance, statement, whatever you want to do. Is that okay, Marcus?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your questions. At this juncture, we will want to end the question and answer section here. We will put his number across so that in case you have any problem or any kind of address that you will need from him, he will attend to you. Thank you very much. At this juncture, we want to continue with the second on our program. The next on our program, we want to now, but before anything else, let me throw more light on this. Let's fill the form for the feedback. It's very important. It will help us know how far we've come and then whatever we've learned. But we also want to apologize for the network fluctuation as well. I mean, it has not been helpful to all of us, but I believe we have indeed gotten a lot from this session and the program at large. Now, this program, which was organized by the Gender Commission of Grasag National, has indeed been very informative and very awesome. Let's keep this working by supporting our organizers as time goes on. Thank you very much, Mr. Ejin Tete, for your time once again. So we don't have the acknowledgement from Nancy Oforiwa.
Please, Sena.
Yes, please.
Hello, Sena.
Hello, I'm here.
May I know when the recorded video will be sent to? Yeah, I want to know when the recorded video will be sent to us. Can you hear me, sir?
Oh, don't worry. Right after the program, you will have them. Yes, please. I can hear you. Right after the program, you have them.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we are very thankful for you joining us, irrespective of the network fluctuation. At this juncture, we want to have Barbara Deladem for the vote of thanks.
Okay. A very good afternoon to you all once again. It's a pleasure to deliver the votes of thanks. Let me first give thanks to the Almighty God for making today's program a massive success. To our honorable speakers, Mr. Braidaku and Mr. Jerry Ajintete, That was an educative delivery. A very big thanks to you. To our gender commissioner, Madam Nancy, and her team, thank you so much for putting such a program together. Now, not forgetting the National Executive Council. An event like this cannot just happen overnight. Thank you for the massive support. Finally, to all students that stayed throughout the program, your cooperation is highly appreciated. Once again, thanks for the attention. Bye.
All right, thank you very much, Barbara Beladem Mensah. We will now have the closing prayer. We will now have the closing prayer with Frida Dankwa, who will be taking us through the closing prayer. But please do well to fill the feedback form through the link. Thank you. Frida, you have the floor.
Okay, good afternoon. Please, can we all bow our heads for a word of prayer? Father, and so we want to thank you for how far you have brought us. We began with you, and so as we are ending with you, we pray that let all our business ideas that we have materialize. Let all running businesses progress. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Frida. And thank you to all of you for joining this program. I know we have learned a lot, and all those who want to apply for loan from Exim Bank, you can do that through the Gender Commission of GASAC. And then, yeah, you have really helped, and you have played a lot of roles in this program. Your availability to join us, in fact, is one of a kind. We are very grateful for your time. Thank you, and God bless us all. Bye-bye.
Amen. Bye.
Thank you.